Good morning and welcome to our second edition of Summit this week. My name is Jumoke Michaels. You're welcome, Banji.
Good morning, Jumoke.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to be here again.
Good to be here. I don't know if you were able to make the inauguration ceremony yesterday.
No, I didn't. No, I was
So what's
busy
your plan
doing...
for that of Abuja today? Are you catching the flight after this?
We'll be there spiritually.
Of course, our reporters are on ground.
Yes.
And then they'll be feeding us as to what's happening.
Yeah.
But as we speak, I know the inauguration is underway. Yeah. The federal ministers will be inaugurated today. And then we'll get to know their portfolios. Yes. What positions, what assignments will actually be given to them. Nigerians are actually, expectation is very high.
Actually too high.
Are they going to assign appropriate roles to them, and then how well will they perform? These are the issues. Yeah. They've just had their retreat.
2 days.
The ministers designates. So they've had their retreat 2 days. And Nigerians are waiting. What new thing do you want to bring to the table? Economy, security, and so many other issues. Yeah. So, Jumoke, so much.
Yeah, so much. And, well, that's what we all believe, that, the issue of the antecedents will be put into consideration before they are given these portfolios. It's so important because people don't expect failure anymore with this administration, especially because people have reiterated it over and over again. So we don't expect anything less than...
No more excuses.
No more excuses. Nothing like it's the past administration or this person or that person. It is now all about you. Do what you need to do and give us results. We all
Yesterday, Governor Sanwo-Olu actually charged the new commissioners. Now, look, Lagosians are expecting so much from you, and he expects them to hit the ground running. But they are starting with a retreat today, too. Okay. A 4-day retreat.
It's an hinting.
It's an hinting now. Yes. So, and I believe coming out of the retreat, it should be on your mark, set,
boiling to work.
Ready to serve, ready to deliver. And just like Michael said, no more excuses. We expect that Nigeria will be a lot better with this administration. The Ninth Assembly, the executive at the federal level, the executive at the state levels. But 4 months after, or 3 months after elections, only 20 states have got their cabinets in place.
And the ones who try to get it in place are in disarray.
Okay.
So, well, that's our discussion this morning. We are looking at the expectations from newly inaugurated cabinets, talking about from the state level and the federal level. Please, you want to stay with us? We'll go on a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, thanks for still being there. Well, before we proceed into our discussion this morning, we just have an announcement from Smart Careers. This is for weekends and evening full-time program put together by the University Access Center for JSS3 and to SS3 students desiring to study on scholarship in foreign countries and also in Nigeria. You can call on 080-2324-9654 or log into their website www.fasteducation.org.uk/gifted. Now this program is put together by the program director, Dr. Peter Ogdoro, or you can visit their office at 17 Toyin Street, Ikeja. Now on the 24th and 25th of August 2019, talking about this coming weekend at 102 Ogunusi Road, Ojodu, Ile-Epo bus stop. That's around Access Bank and UBA on that road. You meet them on Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. If you cannot make the 9 a.m., you make at 1 p.m. to have an interaction section or a seminar with the children who will be partaking in their program. And parents are encouraged to come with their child. And also, for parents paying exorbitant fees in the Victoria Island, Lekki, Ajah, and Ekpe axis of Lagos, and these parents are struggling with paying school fees of their wards, there's an alternative quality education available for your children put together by Smart Careers. And for more information on this, you can also still call 0802-324-9654 for further information on this. And also for children who are sitting for SAT, TOEFL, ACT, IE, LTS, WAEC, and NECO, you can also be part of this program with Smart Careers. You can also log on to their website, www.smartcareers.solutions, for more information. All right, we'll be going on with our discussion this morning, and we have joining us Mr. Jide Ologun, an attorney at law and a public affairs analyst. You're welcome, sir. Good to have you join us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You've not always added the fact that this man, the past chairman, NIPR, that's Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Lagos State. I don't know if you have got a higher, you got to the national level. It's our pleasure to have you this morning.
Thank you.
I don't know if you monitored the inauguration at the Lagos State level yesterday. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu actually inaugurated 35 new commissioners and special advisors for various portfolios, and the portfolios were actually announced. I don't know if you actually have did you monitor it?
Yes, I did, and I'm quite impressed.
Oh, you are quite impressed.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
With what? Is it with the assignment of portfolios or the personalities of the...
Based on the antecedents?
We talked about best fit. So let me isolate the Ministry of Establishment and Training. We have our own Mrs. Ajibola Ponle, who until this moment was the Registrar CEO, Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. And you know that CIPM has the exclusive mandate to regulate the practice of HR in Nigeria. And of course, having such a caliber of person in that office tells us that Lagos is about to fly higher in ensuring we have a more professional workforce. And of course, Lagos State has been moving in that direction of ensuring professionalism in services delivery. And when you look at others, and of course the council of the governor himself, we expect that it should be a flying higher approach, which of course is characteristic of Lagos State.
We have, if you look at the number of youths actually got into that cabinet, we have a 34-year-old young man who actually is now the Commissioner for Finance. That's Olowo, Rabi Olowo. We have Alake, who is also less than 40. We have others, the youth. And then for women, it's about the first state of the Federation that actually nearly made the 35% affirmative action that for women. What's your reaction to all this?
You just concluded what I was bringing out. Lagos State is a center of excellence, so some of us are not surprised when we begin to have things like this. And of course, the state must be managed with the mindset of global expectations, not even local expectations. So when you begin to see that level of inclusiveness, it's quite commendable. And we just want to counsel also that it has to be business unusual. Business unusual means do things differently on the higher level, because right now the world is waiting for us and we must show class, particularly when there's a huge assignment in this country now to migrate from poverty platform to prosperity platform. So we need a lot of innovative approaches, and then we also want to advise that these Nigerians and Lagosians who have been brought together to serve must be allowed to serve, and making reference to those who will be coming up with political interest, because it's one thing for you to have the deliverables, it's another thing for you to have the space of delivery. But having said that, also, those who have this privilege must know that history is recording. So will you add value or diminish value? Will you excel or just go there in and operate by default? Because the wise people have told us that there are two ways to operate in life: by default or by strategy. And strategy means you have a long-term plan for success. So once again, as we congratulate them, congratulate Lagos State, we expect that the performance will really make us happy at the end of the service.
All right, thank God that we are happy with the way Lagos has kicked off with its own program about inaugurating the commissioners and the special advisors yesterday. Now let's go to the federal level. They've just concluded 2 days of retreat. And in that retreat, from the speech of the president, he kept on reiterating the fact that we want you to work hard, we want you to make a difference, we want you to make a change in that retreat program. Now, from the crop of people that have been put together and arranged by the government, do you see them being able to accomplish great feats for Nigeria's economy?
Basically, I believe that before even forwarding the list of the nominees, those who presented them must have a vision and must have considered that we need this category of people to achieve that vision. And right now, this government is on the higher pedestal of impressing the people, because this is the second time running. We've had the first time, and with all the bouquet of excuses that have been given, we don't expect that will happen. And for this government to remain politically relevant, there must be performance. And like rightly mentioned, the president himself made an allusion to the fact that the promise to work on, to fight corruption in 2015, to improve the economy, and of course, to fight insurgency, talking about security, and that they have gone far in doing that. But while saying that, he also made mention of banditry and other vices that came in. So for those who want to be liberal-minded, you may say that the case got worse. But then we have precedents around town that says, if you really want to tackle these problems, you can. And of course, when you have the ministers coming in, they are not to work in isolation. We have existing ministries. We have the PAM secretary, the permanent secretaries. We have the directors, assistant directors. We have the agencies and the, all the paraphernalia of office that must work to achieve that vision. And there must also be accountability. Peter Drucker came up with the concept of management by objective in 1945, which says that you must set SMART goals, goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So right now, where do we picture Nigeria in 6 months? For instance, in the area of the headers, the so-called headers farmers clash, where do we picture Nigeria in another 9 months in the area of electricity? Where is this country economically? So those are assignments that should bother those who are coming in. But remarkably too, that we are expecting that they will be given their portfolios, perhaps by today. So people are waiting. But we need to also migrate from the concept of seeing these privileges as status. No, it's an assignment.
Okay.
An assignment to change the narrative.
Okay.
And the evaluation tells us now that we have so much more to do as a nation to catch up with the civilization and the development going on around the globe.
Now let's look at Lagos State. I was not. Lagos State is, as you have said, center of excellence. The new administration seems to have tinkered with the ministry structures. We used to have Ministry of Wealth Creation in the immediate past administration. We used to have Ministry of Waterfront and all that. This ministry seems to have been dropped for now. They didn't feature yesterday. Now, what does that tell you? Do you suspect that there will be kind of some policy somersault, continuity, and all that in this administration? And how would that actually impact on the welfare and the administration of Lagos?
In public relations, we talk about PR campaign. We start with research, continues with research, ends with research. And of course, as an investor, you need to constantly research. And that's why when you talk about information, we had what is called the information technology. The cumbersome nature of communication disappeared when GSM showed up. So if you evaluate the ministries you have, and you need to merge some for effectiveness, why not? At a point in time, traveling by air was cumbersome. You must go through a lot of processes. But right now on your phone, you can check in, get to the airport, flash your boarding pass, and you get your boarding pass, and you move on. So the same thing happens in governance. If you ask me, we must even reduce the number of parastatals that we have, particularly
down on employment creation.
Effectiveness has little to do with employment creation. There are other areas we have not embraced. Let me ask this global but local question. Let us assume that our refineries are functioning effectively. Can you imagine the level of employment we will create? Did you know that we have really cheated this country by importing fuel? Because crude oil gives us other products that do not return to Nigeria. So we are developing other economies. And look at the MD CEO of Facebook. Do you know the number of employees that are on the pay list of that young entrepreneurs? You know, you begin to talk about virtual officers. So there are different levels of achievements rather than just having mundane structures that are not useful. For example, let me ask you a question now. Can you compare the infrastructure of the old NITEL with the current infrastructure of the telecoms industry? So things are getting smarter.
But water transport is one of the sectors that is expected to upgrade in Lagos State, because the roads are quite congested.
Politically speaking, I think the federal government is interested in the water resource management of the state. And of course, we cannot deny the fact that recently there was exactly, so that is an area that we may not highlight. But my advice is just that Lagos State should value this natural resource and maximize it. I was driving on the Third Mainland Bridge with one of my clients at the time, and we looked at that massive collection of water, and my imagination jumped from my brain. Can you imagine that we can even have an airstrip on that lagoon? We can have shopping malls on that lagoon. Our transportation system can be translated, even the fishes, Do you know how many billions of naira we can generate from the water resources on a weekly basis? But that also does not need 1,000 human beings coming together. When you talk of fishing, we have various technologies across the globe. There are technologies that you plant them in a region, fishes will swim towards the technology. So things are happening. So and right now we are beginning to talk about artificial intelligence, technology. So, and what that will do is that it will help us expand the scope of possibilities. We have not embraced even 7% of the potentials of this country. Do you know, sir, that about 4.6% of the world resources are domiciled in Nigeria, deposited by God? Yes, about 4.6%.
We'll talk about that.
You see, so it's a limitless opportunities that we have. And that's why we are saying that beyond political agitations, let's have economic relevance. I want to see
In Nigeria, where we are talking about geo-economic zones, not geopolitical zones. I mean, California is just one of the 50 states in the United States of America, and California's economy is like the 5th largest in the whole world. And you develop your potentials. So, and we must come to that level, and now, we make life simpler.
The administration is kicking off, both at the federal level and at the state levels. I mean, from that of Lagos State has started already. Do you, for instance, expect that midway or somewhere along the line, any non-performing commissioner will be dropped? We didn't see such cases of non-performance commissioners or ministers being dropped, both at the federal level and at the state level.
I think such happened during Obasanjo's
time. Do you suppose that?
I was coming to, I mean, that is a question for leadership to answer. You see, I mentioned management by objective. If you have a goal, you have a vision to achieve, then it helps you to check how you mobilize your resources. And if there are elements of those resources that are not moving in the direction of your vision, you drop them. You drop them. And that is why politics has to set aside. If, for example, at the national level, the president's desire is that by May 29, or is it June 12 now? 2020, that we should not just have all the 4 refineries in the country functioning. We should have 3 additional refineries. And for that purpose, you mobilize resources for those who are managing it, and you let them know you don't achieve this, you are out of office. We will achieve it. We will achieve it. So when you are,
no, why don't you tell them now? Tell the president.
They are listening to us, but is the goodwill there? And we achieve these things. Sir, permit me to bring in a present illustration. Recently, some soldiers ambushed some high-class professional policemen in Taraba State, killed them, set the kidnapped suspect free. He has been rearrested. But many years he's been in the thin air. Because right now it has touched those who are, the custodians of the capacity. My country does not lack capacity. What we lack is the political will to deliver on the capacity. Let me ask you a question, sir. We live in Lagos. We know how traumatic the traffic has been, and we must appreciate the governors for doing their best. But can you imagine that my amiable president, anytime he came to Lagos, these trailers are off the road. It shows us that we can achieve things. So if the leader wants good results, you give them targets. You are here for a purpose. If you cannot fulfill that purpose, please go back to where you are coming from. There are others, perhaps more qualified, that can get the job done. So it depends on whether you want to get the job done or you just want to keep them there.
All right. Before we continue the discussion again, we'd like to take that same announcement again, talking about smart careers. Now, this announcement is for parents who want qualitative and less expensive education for their child. Now, Smart Careers is having an event on the 24th and 25th August 2019 at number 102 Ogunusi Road, Ojodu, Ilepo bus stop, close to Access and UBA Bank and Ojodu Bega. And they have weekends and evenings and full-time program for JSS3 and SS3 students who are desiring to study in countries abroad and also in Nigeria. Now you can come and see the proprietor, Dr. Peter Ogdoro, at number 17, Toyin Street, Ikeja. That's their office. Or you can call him on 0802-324-9654. And their website is also www.fasteducation.org.uk/gifted. And also another one for parents paying exorbitant fees in the Victoria Island, Lekki, Ajah, and Ekpe axis, and you're struggling with paying school fees for your children. This is to announce to you that there's an alternative quality education available for your children by Smart Careers. And you can also still call Dr. Peter Ogdoro on 0802-324-9654. And also, if you're bringing your children this weekend, 24th and 25th of August, for the seminar, you can also get more information at www.smartcareers.solutions.
Now, thank you. You were actually talking about the case of you said we have the will, we have the capacity. Like each time the president is visiting Lagos, we see that things work. Things that have refused to work over time just suddenly start working. Now, what do you, for instance, propose in the case of Wadume, for instance?
Wadume, as we speak now, is a suspect. And under the criminal justice system of Nigeria, he is presumed innocent until he is convicted of the alleged
Even
offenses.
with his confessions.
We still have Evans there, who was arrested, made confessions, somewhere along the line started drifting, even challenged the state. So it depends on how serious we are with our